Hi everyone, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Community Worship Center's site. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to have the Coffee with LaToya and Ed. We're actually going to be discussing one of our new ministries that we're starting. It's going to be our marriage ministry. We're calling it Unbreakable, and we're going to get off to a great start by having our own expert therapist, Miss Lynn Ann Lowrie, who's here with me today. She is a marriage counselor, and we're going to be talking to her a little bit today so that you guys can get a feel of who she is and what we're going to be doing with this ministry. So we'll go ahead and jump right into the questions, and stay tuned towards the end. We'll have some information at the bottom of the video for you with the dates and times, as well as you can check on our website and get more information from there. So, Lynn Ann, my first question for you is, I just want to know a little bit about your background. Where did you do your schooling and everything like that? I know you have a doctorate, so.
I do, and I did my bachelor's degree at Lubbock Christian University, and it's actually in communication, which is a handy foundation if you're going to go into marriage counseling.
Yeah.
And then my master's degree and my PhD are both in marriage and family therapy. I did my master's degree at Abilene Christian University and my PhD at Texas Tech.
Awesome. And I know we were speaking earlier, so you're currently teaching right now still.
I am, yes. I started when I moved back to Lubbock to work on my doctorate. I started doing some part-time teaching at Lubbock Christian, and then when I completed my PhD, then I moved into a full-time role as an assistant professor, which is a ranking that you're given as a full-time professor. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. What made you decide to go into marriage? There's a lot of different fields you can pick from when you're going to do counseling. So what compelled you to go to the marriage part?
You know, there is so much that you can choose from, and I think that it was just something that the Lord laid on my heart. And people are drawn to different areas, and I have friends who work with certain populations that I know I wouldn't be very effective with, or I'm not drawn to. And marriage counseling it's a challenging profession.
Yeah,
it's a very challenging work, but I have always felt drawn to that, and I decided a while back that I didn't want to be a jack of all trades and master of none, meaning I didn't want to work with such a wide variety of issues that I couldn't become really effective. So I chose
to specialize in.
Correct, yeah. So I chose to focus my practice only on couples counseling, and that's all I do.
Well, you are brave.
Well, thanks.
Okay, well, since you were saying that the Lord laid it on your heart, that was one of my questions actually. So your work is your ministry, is that correct?
It is.
So how is that juggling between just doing, it's just work and then it's also ministry and kind of balancing the two of those? How does that work out?
In some ways, it's great because I can feel like what I am doing, and this is true for all of us, whatever the Lord has gifted us in, that is part of our ministry. He intends us to use that for His glory. But in this case, it's such an obvious ministry, at least I feel like it. And that's a real blessing to feel like you have figured out what your calling is, and you figured out where the Lord has gifted you, and you figured out how to at least try to work in the kingdom. Right. It's also challenging, like ministry is.
Yeah.
And that's just true for any aspect of ministry. There are days when you have to set some limits for yourself and set some boundaries for yourself so you can take care of yourself and your own marriage and your own family. And but that's just part of the process.
Okay. So you said you were talking about your own marriage. So I know that you are married. How long have you been married? And has your marriage taught you anything, that you can incorporate and that you use on a regular basis in your work in your ministry?
Doug and I have been married for 3.5 years. We both did quite a few other things in life before we got married. And I think that it's only served to enhance what I do as a couples therapist. I think more than anything, what marriage has done for me is made me apply all of the things that I've taught and known for so many years. Yes, live out those things that I've been saying, and that's tough some days. Just because of our own sinfulness and selfishness, it's tough. But
it's difficult to practice what you preach.
It is, but it's necessary. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my last question is. Is there anything that any of the couples can do to prepare themselves? People might have different mindsets or opinions coming into this. Is there anything they can be thinking about or spiritually that they can be preparing themselves for if they're going to come to these sessions with you?
You know, I would encourage couples just to be praying about what the Spirit can teach them and what the Spirit can lead them. And I know that sometimes couples come to marriage seminars because they just want to gain a few tools to bless their marriage. Sometimes they come because they're in a really rough place. And sometimes one spouse comes dragging the other spouse.
Tug them in there.
Sometimes spouses come by themselves because the other person won't come. And whichever situation they find themselves in, I just encourage people to trust that the Lord can take that situation, even if you're coming by yourself. The Lord still has some things that He can do and some things that He can teach you in some ways that He can work. And I would just encourage people to pray for Him to be preparing their hearts to whatever He has for them, prepared for them.
Okay, that sounds good. That's a really good answer. So you guys heard it. If you're going to be coming out to the sessions, be praying and have an open mind and heart to what it is that the Lord wants to do for you. This is, again, Lynn Ann Lowrie. She's going to be our expert marriage counseling. Our first session is going to be on June 27th. It's going to be at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. We'll have the time and information posted on Facebook. There's also going to be at the bottom of the screen if you guys will just have a glance down there. And there'll be one every month for the next 6 months. We're going to be doing 2 sessions per topic, and she has 3 topics. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know the names of them because I found one of them really interesting. The first one is called Communication versus Connection, and the second one is called The Book of Revelation and Your Marriage. I don't know if you guys have read through the Book of Revelation, but when I think about it, I wonder what in the world would that have to do with helping me out of my marriage?
It's a teaser to get you there.
Yeah, we're just going to leave y'all thinking about that. What does the Book of Revelation have to do with your marriage? The third one is what happy couples do. So that's what's going to be broken down over the sessions. We're encouraging everyone to come out. Like she said, if you're a spouse and your spouse won't come with you and you have to come by yourself, then do it. Just show up. We want everyone to feel welcome and come out. If you can bring your spouse, bring them. You singles out there, don't feel left out. We're going to have a ministry for y'all in the near future. So we'll be having something out for y'all as well. But thank you very much, Lynn Ann, for coming out to talk
Thanks
with
for
us
having
today.
me.
We appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
As always, you guys have a blessed day. We love you, and y'all just have a great day. Thank you.